Welcome back to all our Auburn recruiting junkies. Believe it or not, we are not discussing a basketball commitment in this video. We're finally getting back to the football side of things and talking about the defense specifically. Let's get into that. We got the quick facts for you and, of course, what it means for Hugh Freeze and the Auburn Tigers. Before we do that, I want to welcome you back here to the channel at E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience, all about Auburn sports, Auburn culture, Auburn family stuff. If it's orange and blue, it's what we do. And if you enjoy what we do, we always appreciate you smashing that like button down below. Let's get into this. I can't believe we're not actually talking about basketball related things. This is actually going to be the first one officially, as far as I can tell and remember, of the post-spring portals. Spring practices are done. This is the first one we got an opportunity to talk about as far as scholarship players being added to the roster for 2025. We're talking about defense. We're talking about a linebacker, and we're talking about from the Maryland Terrapins and the Big Ten Conference. His name is Caleb Wheatland, a 6'1", 227-pound linebacker coming over to be with the Auburn Tigers in what will likely be his final season of collegiate competition. He spent 3 seasons with the Terrapins and now has seemingly 1 year of eligibility left to spend with the Auburn Tigers. Now, what type of linebacker is he? Well, it's not really that complicated these days for Auburn's defense and for a lot of defenses out there. Most people have moved to having a buck position, which is more of a hybrid between the defensive end and a linebacker, but the true linebackers like Caleb seems to be are going to be your Mike, your middle linebacker, your Will, your weak side linebacker. You probably could fit him in wherever you'd like to, honestly, but there are some other players here that are going to probably dictate who gets to start where. And we'll cover all that in just a little bit, but I think he is probably got some versatility to be utilized at either one of those positions. Now, certainly, he's going to have a lot of experience. 3 years in the Big Ten is no joke. It's the other big conference along with the SEC. So you got to think that's going to be some valuable stuff there. Also with this, pretty interesting. What is up with this Maryland pipeline for Auburn football under Hugh Freeze? Now, I recognize we got DJ Durkin here, and he has his history there. And obviously, you got to think that somehow played into this just a little bit, even though they didn't cross paths as far as I can tell. At least some way, with him being the defensive coordinator, that's got to play somehow into this factor. There's also Preston Howard here as part of this transfer portal class for 2025 already for Maryland. I'm sure that helped as well. Just a pretty interesting thing. It's like Maryland's the new Arkansas for Auburn at this point. So finally, for the facts, let's give you some stats, things to look at. We'll take a look at ESPN to look at some of the things that he's done over the last several years at Maryland. You're going to see he progressively gets better and really consistent in his final 2 seasons with the Maryland Terrapins. We'll just look at that top line there. 42 total tackles for him and 4 sacks, 1 recovered fumble, and 2 pass deflections. So this is a guy that not only does your traditional linebacker things, but it's getting more versatile and more involved in all aspects of the defense and his responsibilities and roles as a linebacker. And you got to like that coming to the table, especially with that added experience for DJ Durkin and the Auburn defense. Now that you've got the facts, let's talk about what it means for him, for Hugh Freeze, the Auburn Tigers, the future, all that kind of stuff. Let's start first by talking about the numbers of this class. And it's going to get a little challenging here. I think I've got it pretty straightened out because this class is pretty full, folks. It's like 30-something now when you count transfers in and high school recruits that are already here. It's pretty wild right now. At the time of his commitment, it's an important phrase, at the time of his commitment, it made it 16 transfers for 2025 for Auburn football. It made it the second overall linebacker, true linebacker commit transfer-wise, that other one being Xavier Atkins from LSU. There's also Bryce Dees, J.J. Falk from the high school ranks, so that gives you some perspective. We could break it down even further to other aspects of the numbers, but that gives you at least the gist of what is a very large class for 2025. What does it mean in terms of playing time? What is his role going to be? Again, experience is key, especially when you come from this power conference level. I got to think that's going to give him a leg up to playing significant minutes early, if not throughout the entirety of the year. Does that mean he'll start? Not necessarily, but you can't really think that's going to hurt his case. Certainly is going to help his case to win potentially some starting time here. You got guys like DeMarcus Reddick, who certainly is one of those up-and-comers, those risers. Robert Woodyard, who's been around here for a while. You've also got Xavier Atkins in this class with SEC experience, all limited SEC experience, but it's still something that you can't dismiss out of hand. So I think that's probably going to be your core group right there. So no matter who starts, all of these guys together are going to be leading the way. Some older experienced guys along with some uprising talent. I think that's a really good core group along with some of the young guys there. I think he's going to play a lot. And finally, what does this mean for the rest of the class? As we kind of broke down with where the playing time may distribute out, you've got a core group. You've got a young group behind them that are rising up, maybe going to find ways to break into the rotation throughout the year too. You got to think that the room feels pretty full. However, Hugh Freeze did say this was a big emphasis for him post-spring where he was looking for some help. So you got to wonder, is there room for maybe another depth piece in the linebacker room with some more experience? Because you lost Eugene Asante, you lost Austin Keys, you lost Dorian Mausi. You got to think maybe if the right situation comes out there, you might see one more. But right now, it feels pretty complete. At least it does to me, in my opinion. So that's what you have, the facts and the things that you need to know. We'd love to know your thoughts about this brand new commitment and signee, Caleb Wheatland, for the Auburn Tigers. Let us know down there in the comments section below. We appreciate you spending some time with us here at E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience. War Eagle.